It's the Wednesday after Easter, and I imagine that first week after Jesus rose from the dead, the disciples were pretty um, pretty excited, and yet they probably didn't know what was going to happen next. They had seen Jesus on Sunday, and then he didn't show up for a while. As we sit around not knowing what's going to happen next in this coronavirus world, I had some thoughts. One of them is that I've been reading old magazines, the magazines that are from the news that was happening in the fall and December. And as I read them, I find out how much of them are irrelevant. How many times they predicted something that didn't happen, and how many times they talked about speculations that just were pretty far off base. And yet, when we read the news today and we read things about the coronavirus, that maybe it's useless to find a vaccine, that was one article that I found, or an article that says the coronavirus now uh, comes through the air, and all sorts of other ideas. Maybe the lockdown's going to have to last for a lot longer. Whatever articles you happen to read, I think reading those old articles gives me some perspective, because a lot of times things that we thought were going to happen a few months ago didn't happen, and the dire predictions of a month or so ago haven't happened. The fact is that rather than basing our life and our ideas on the news, maybe it's more helpful to base it on the Word of God. Jesus says, "Don't worry about tomorrow, for tomorrow has enough trouble of its own." Matthew 6:34. And I think that's probably a good thing to put in our hearts and our minds. And that's my thought for the day.